what I'm going to do today is I'm going to stitch out today's freebie, which is number 10, but I'm going to stitch it out twice in 2 different ways. And as you can see, I've got my Epic 2 back, and I must admit I've been just a tiny bit lost without her. I've actually loaded it. Now you may think, what on earth is she doing here? I wanted to use this hoop, but I've moved the designs over to this side because it doesn't take up the whole hoop. I didn't want to do it in the 5x7 hoop because it's a little bit on the smallish side, so I wanted to do it on this one. So I've moved the designs over here, and then hopefully I won't waste all this stabiliser on that side, and I can cut it off and use it for a second layer in one of my other stitch outs. Here on the screen you can see that I've got these labelled up, and all looks a bit muddly really, doesn't it? Because I loaded 2 designs on, but one had outline alignment stitches, so I've got to ignore those. But hopefully it has sorted them. As you can see, you've got 213, 112, and it's all over the place. Anyway, that'll be a challenge for today. Back here with my Epic. Right, so as you can see, we've got a new element here today, which fits neatly into the scrolls, and it is a lacy background. And as you can see, I've given it a very sort of square, almost Chinese sort of fill stitches. Anyway, let's see how they stitch out. Right, here is what I was talking about, and actually it doesn't show up too well on this ivory silk. I should have done this in a different shade or used a different colour, but never mind. See, they're very boxy, the fill in there, but it just appealed to me. I just loved the look. There you can see how it's coming together. We have the little sprig of leaves, and I've also included that half moon of French knots which were round the buttonholes yesterday. Now we're beginning to stitch out the second design, and I'm going to do something different. In fact, it's just occurred to me now, and I've had to move forward in the design to the right spot because I've just suddenly realised it would be nice to separate the background from the surround, because I'm not going to do the background lacy bits. I'm going to lay some sheer fabric on it instead, just to show you the different looks that you can get. You all know how I love silk, and I've got something very special here. It is actually silk tulle, and it may seem only a little fragment here, but a long time ago I made a silk veil, and I do believe that some of the royal weddings their veils have been silk. You can see it has a very soft way of hanging, unlike ordinary tulle, which is just nylon, doesn't have that sort of wonderful look to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread this on, and I haven't got a marking of where this goes. I can only judge it by that and by looking at my screen. I'm not going to put any glue on here. I don't think that's necessary. Right, let's see what happens. bring it forward. I now have to get used to the fact that I'm on the other Epic. I wish the Epic 2 and the Epic 1 didn't have their start-stop button in different places. It gets me confused, but it doesn't take very much. Right, so there we are. Now, I'm going to have to trim this because there is something which goes... We've got to have these French knots, and I don't think I want those to go on this. So I need to trim round the curve, but we'll see when they stitch out. Now, as you can see here, I've done a little bit more. I'm not going to stop with every colour. I've put rose gold metallic thread around that scroll, and I don't know whether I'll do it in this one. I think I may go a little bit more subtle. We shall see. We've got the little half moon of French knots, and you can see we've got the centre of that lovely flower going to go in there. And I've trimmed around this side, but I haven't trimmed this side because the scroll goes here. So let's see what stitches out next. I did find that the machine was making a slightly funny noise, and I realised that I'd stitched with metallic, and it was on the next colour. And metallic thread, this you have to know your machine, and I know that even if it's just been serviced, it doesn't like metallic thread. And I found a tiny little piece around the cutting area when I opened up the bobbin area. So listen to your machine and learn its little noises and how it talks to you. Right, we are now going to do this scroll up here, which will... So I'm going to do it I may slow the machine down. And I'm trying to find my purple fang. Here's an orange one. Right. I'll turn the machine down slightly and let's see how it goes. No, that's not what I want to do. Ruffle it all up. As you see, it moves. You've only got to sort of breathe on it, you know. Right, here are our stitch outs so far. I put silver around this scroll. I thought it gave it a slightly more delicate look. And before we stitch out these half flowers on the side of the scroll, I want to cut it away. So I'm using these embroidery scissors slightly curved. Somehow or other, when the blades are curved, they seem to be, I feel that they're easier to trim. It's so delicate, this. You can't expect, you're not going to be able to cut it perfectly, if you see what I mean. It's got a mind of its own, but I may look at that later on under my magnifying light. The designs are now complete. What do you think? Which do you prefer? As you see, this has turned out very neatly. I'm really pleased with that. I am going to I'm actually cutting this by looking through my magnified light. Whoops. You're never going to get a perfect edge. But I don't think that matters. That's part of the beauty. Now, I think I'll leave it well alone. If you've not subscribed to this channel, it'd be great if you do, and you hit the little bell, and you'll get notification each time I upload a new video. Please hit the like button, and which helps other people find Graceful Embroidery, helps them find these designs too. Thank you very much for watching. And if you've got any questions, then do please email me. And don't forget that while you're getting all these freebies, all my designs at Graceful Embroidery are in the sale at 75% off. So lots of reasons for taking part in this birthday event. Until next time, happy embroidering. Bye for now.